Yo, that is a monster. Holy
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Classified Captures. Steve here, and today I've got a collection of clips ranging from the first video clip of Bigfoot ever taken to evidence that AI is being used to track you through facial recognition. Ready? Let's jump in. We kick off today's episode with a clip all the way from Colorado. The image on your screen was taken by a couple who went out to enjoy the great outdoors. To immortalize the experience, they took a lot of pictures and videos. What they didn't count on, however, was capturing a third party they didn't even know was at the location with them. After scrutinizing the image on your screen, the duo realized that there was a strange being in the image they had taken. Although they didn't know what being or creature it was there. They uploaded it to one of our paranormal platforms seeking answers. Some stated this had to be legit, while others were very skeptical. Take this comment, for instance. I mean, his line of reasoning is a lot like Julius's, but when you think about it, he does have a point. Others in the community, however, insist it had to be a cryptid or otherworldly. Which of these schools of thought are you personally likely to adapt? From Colorado, we go all the way to a hidden location in Europe where an individual believes they might have captured something otherworldly. Take a look. In the clip, we're introduced to a water body with an odd circle within it. A quick look into the circle reveals that there's something in it as well. We aren't sure what it is, but it moves within the water as though it were opening up and then closing. This is sure to freak out or at least intrigue anyone who saw it. We're not sure what our investigator was feeling, only that he recorded what he saw and placed it online so you and I could provide him with answers. Many theories have come up and gone out, but Aaron holds on to the view that this might be a portal to some unknown world of reality. Personally, I get why he thinks that, but until we can visit the location and test it out, we can only speculate. Who knows, it may even lead to Hollow Earth. I mean, well, it's not impossible, is it?
That big-ass iguana just fell from the roof. Look at him. Yo, that is a monster. Holy What in the
Did that startle you? We may or may not have thrown our phones away out of fright and broken the screen. Anyway, back to the clip. The lady who recorded this started to record because she heard something fall from her roof. We're not sure how high it is or how a lizard this ginormous made its way up there, but I'm pretty sure she thought it was very hurt. I did too. That was at least until it dashed toward her. She and her family have decided to call it the Iguana Squatch, which is quite a fitting name. Once she uploaded this, everyone suggested she made stew or soup with it. Not sure what that would taste like, but what would you have done in her situation?
That big-ass iguana just fell from the roof. Look at him. Yo, that is a monster. Holy What in the
If you love having clean, white, and strong teeth and use a ton of products to get the results, then this clip is for you.
3 worst things in natural toothpaste.
You really want to know?
I do.
Start with fluoride, sodium lauryl sulfate. Let's talk about oils they put in that kill everything. Toothpaste was developed by soap makers, 100 years ago. Even the color, that fluorescent blue, that's made from petroleum. It's a carcinogen. That was originally made from coal tar. It's now petroleum. It's a known carcinogen. They're still using saccharin. They're still using aspartame. They're using chemicals that are known to be harmful.
You heard him, right? And the funny thing is, he's a dentist, but being totally honest. Or is he? I did some research to confirm the information he was sharing, and boy, I was not ready for what I discovered. It turns out that toothpaste, which is a seemingly essential part of our daily hygiene routine, often contains a mix of ingredients that may pose potential risks to our health. Fluoride, one of the most common ingredients, is often debated due to its association with dental health issues when consumed in excessive amounts. Sodium lauryl sulfate, another widely used component, is responsible for the foaming action in toothpaste but can irritate the gums and mouth. Additionally, some brands include oils that indiscriminately kill both harmful and beneficial bacteria, disturbing the natural balance of the oral microbiome. Surprisingly, modern toothpaste formulations trace their origins to soap makers from over a century ago, and many of these ingredients remain in use today despite advancements in dental care. Moreover, some toothpaste brands use artificial colorants such as fluorescent blue, which is derived from petroleum and contains coal tar, a known carcinogen. The sweet taste we associate with many toothpaste products is often due to artificial sweeteners like saccharin and aspartame, both of which have raised concerns regarding their long-term health effects. These synthetic additives, while enhancing taste and appearance, may expose consumers to unnecessary health risks. As we become more aware of the potential dangers hidden in everyday products, it's essential to consider more natural, non-toxic alternatives that prioritize oral health without compromising overall well-being. How incredible would it be to give your body a full year off from these chemicals and let it detox naturally? I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. Are there any alternatives to toothpaste you recommend? Drop your suggestions and comments below.
Three worst things in natural toothpaste.
You really want to know?
I do.
Start with fluoride, sodium lauryl sulfate. Let's talk about oils they put in that kill everything. Toothpaste was developed by soap makers, 100 years ago. Even the
Walking away from fluoride, we turn our eyes to the skies, where there appears to be a man walking, and yes, walking in the sky. This was uploaded to one of our platforms by a lady whose trip was interrupted by this sight. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary capture, but once she starts zooming in, we see a white being walking on the clouds like a man would. The difference here is the fact that the being appears to be made of the same substance as the cloud. Is this even possible? Oh, I'm no Julius, but even I know that's not supposed to be possible. This was recorded in China, and it's caused quite a stir on our platforms. A number of people who saw this believed the deities were giving us proof of their existence. A chunk of the community felt that it was ludicrous and believed this was nothing more than AI. You've seen the clip too, right? Which side are you leaning toward? If none of their perspectives resonate with you, how would you interpret what's happening? Let us know in the comments section. While you share your thoughts, allow me to chip in this clip as well. Just in case you didn't catch that, allow me to describe what just happened. This duo were taking a walk when all of a sudden one of them held his chest in pain while the other ducked and ran away. From the clip, however, we can see that the activity was preceded by some glowing neon lights which briefly made contact with the man and retreated. A second one came flying, but his friend was already gone and he was holding his chest. The clip is set up in such a way that it suggests that the neon light is the reason the man is holding his chest, but why? Well, anyone who is a fan of Star Wars or any space adventure and futuristic movie will recognize that this looks like the guns soldiers from advanced civilizations use. But this is reality, not fiction. Do we have the technology to create that? Well, as far as we know, no. But then again, the government doesn't tell us everything. The paranormal community is divided on this. Some believe this is fake and meant to mislead this community, while others believe this is real and probably top secret. While they debate what the truth is, I can't help but wonder why the man's friend would just leave him like that. If they're truly friends, this is a bad look. But then again, if the clip is to be believed and those were truly some form of weaponized laser, does running in the direction they are from mean he is dead or was at least trying to save his buddy's life? I guess we'll never really know. What comes to mind when you hear the word Romania? For believers in the paranormal, all sorts of lore come to mind, including vampires, werewolves, and what have you. Take a look at this clip, for instance. The clip starts off showing a parked vehicle. A few seconds in, we see a humanoid being or creature walk by the vehicle. While it does look humanoid, there's something unsettling about it. The individual whose camera recorded this uploaded it online, and once people knew it came from Romania, many theories started coming up. The theories range from vampires to werewolves to night creatures and what have you. To be honest, I can't blame them. A year ago, I would have screamed the same thing, but thanks to Julius's influence, I took a second look and started to feel it might just be an old lady leaning on the vehicle for support. Maybe she's got a dog with her on a leash as well. When such a scene is recorded on a low-quality camera, it can look otherworldly, which is what I think is happening here. But then again, that's just me. You guys can see the clip too, so what do you think? Still on scary, identified beings or creatures of the night. Take a look at this one. The clip starts off showing us the cam of a man on a motorbike. It's dark and he appears to be alone in the road. He's driving on until his path is crossed by a being in white overalls. Based on the height and build, I'm tempted to think it's a man, but what would a man be doing alone in the middle of nowhere? Once more, the man on the bike screams when he sees the being, a person or whatever this is, and keeps riding without even stopping. He allegedly uploaded this after his experience, and it got the platform he uploaded it on talking. Julius saw the clip, however, and stated he's not buying it. He says it's staged and he doesn't understand how we can believe this is real. I get it too. I mean, it's all a bit too convenient. But then again, maybe that's what the spirit or being wants us to think. Aaron doesn't know how to feel about this one. What about you? We've heard the conversations about robots taking over people's jobs. While we've been told physical jobs could become a thing of the past, never did I ever think I could be buying drinks from a robot in the near future. It pains me to admit it, but it looks like the robot is holding out quite well. So, robo-bartenders, not sure how I feel about that. I mean, you can't have conversations with them and tell them about your ex or how bad your day was. Not sure they do tricks too, but maybe this is just me being petty and finding something to complain about. What do you guys think of this? Stepping away from this technological wonder, take a look at this capture of our favorite elusive ancient wonder, Bigfoot. After recovering from her petrification induced by fear, a lady managed to capture this image of a Bigfoot that she had crossed paths with in the woods. She was scared. Yes, I mean, these things are supposed to be big. But what was the Bigfoot doing? If this image is truly real, was it trying to hide behind those trees, or was it just standing there to have a better look? I'm not exactly sure, but many who saw the capture stated they believed it was authentic. They believed this is one capture of the real and actual being. There are also some who expressed skepticism. Take this comment from one of the reposts of the image, for instance. I mean, his comment is logical, but who knows what device the lady was using? I mean, there are people still using phones with bad cameras in our day and age. Anyway, what do you guys think? Remember when I mentioned Julius wanted to include a scientific video in exchange for his perspectives? Well, this is one from him for all who want to live healthily and age with their strength intact. Enjoy. Fasting plays a vital role in the body's metabolic processes, particularly in how it manages energy and combats harmful cells. Normally, when we eat, the food is broken down into glucose, which provides fuel for our cells. However, this glucose doesn't only nourish healthy cells, it also feeds zombie cells, damaged cells that have stopped functioning properly but continue to linger in the body. These cells contribute to a buildup of toxic sludge that spreads to neighboring healthy cells, accelerating aging and leading to conditions like hair loss, wrinkles, arthritis, cancer, and even dementia. Fasting disrupts this cycle by cutting off the glucose supply to these zombie cells, essentially starving them and preventing further harm to the body. In addition to eliminating harmful cells, fasting also helps the body manage energy more efficiently. When food is plentiful, excess energy is stored as fat beneath the skin and around vital organs. During periods of fasting or scarcity, this fat is sent to the liver, where it's converted into ketones. Ketones act as an emergency energy source for both the body and the brain, ensuring continued function even in the absence of food. This metabolic shift not only promotes fat loss, but also enhances overall body function by tapping into stored energy reserves, making fasting an effective tool for both health and longevity. That was a lot, but a lot of good information. Let's just say after watching this, I'm also fasting. Maybe you should too. This footage, believed to have been taken back in 1963, is often referred to as the Harlan Ford Bigfoot, and is considered one of the oldest known Bigfoot sightings captured on film. Harlan Ford, a retired man who spent his leisure time in the wild taking photos and videos, claims to have encountered the elusive creature during one of his outings. While the creature isn't clearly visible in the footage, Ford's account paints a vivid picture. He describes the being as standing about 7 foot tall, covered in gray hair, and possessing striking red eyes. According to Ford, the creature emitted a foul odor and left behind footprints with webbed feet, an unusual feature that sets this sighting apart from more familiar Bigfoot descriptions. The details, especially the webbed feet, challenge what we think we know about Bigfoot. Could this have been a unique encounter or a completely different creature? In 2020, a pilot flying over the clouds in Colombia at about 30,000 feet noticed something strange ahead of his aircraft. There, in the vast sky, was a cube-like object seemingly moving on its own. This sighting captured on camera sparked a wave of speculation. Many believed that this object could be extraterrestrial in nature, possibly a craft from beyond our world silently navigating through the clouds. Others suggest it might be a military experiment or even a naturally occurring phenomenon. But what do you think? Could this be evidence of extraterrestrial technology, or is there a more earthly explanation behind this mysterious cube in the sky? A man was out on Miami Beach gazing toward the horizon when something unusual caught his eye. Far out at sea, a shadowy figure of what appeared to be buildings loomed on the horizon. Intrigued, he zoomed in with his camera, expecting it to be a ship or some sort of optical illusion. But it wasn't. These figures looked like actual structures. Given the geography of the area, there are no buildings near the ocean's horizon that could explain this eerie sight. So what could this be? Could it be a secret structure being built far out to sea? Perhaps an advanced hidden project the public isn't aware of? Or could this be a rare optical phenomenon like a mirage projecting distant structures from far-off lands? The sight was strange enough to leave everyone questioning what was really out there in the vast ocean. Some, however, pointed out the possibility of it being a container ship. That sounds plausible, but you guys let me know what you think. A lot of people don't realize this, but we're constantly being watched. Every moment of our lives is being recorded, and there's advanced software out there that can track down the exact moment a photo was taken. How? By using surveillance cameras all around us. Let me explain. Imagine a man taking a picture on the left side of the screen. On the right, you'll see footage from surveillance cameras capturing that exact moment when the picture was taken. The photo is fed into the software, and it scans all available surveillance in the area, identifying the moment when the picture was snapped. This is freaky. It means that our devices and surveillance cameras are tracking us whether we know it or not. What do you think about these types of inventions? Does it help society, or is it a sign that privacy is slowly disappearing from our lives? There's a trend that's been gaining momentum recently where people are discovering bizarre and mysterious things on Google Earth. Some of these findings are downright strange and have sparked plenty of curiosity. One eerie discovery took place in the middle of the Nevada desert. On the ground, a large spiral pattern was clearly visible, with a group of people standing around it, dressed in robes. What could they possibly be doing out there? Another person was exploring the coastlines of California when they stumbled upon something even stranger. A massive head resembling a dinosaur peeking through an opening at the base of a mountain. It looks as if the head is carved into the rock, but its size and lifelike appearance are what make it so mysterious. And in yet another odd finding, someone came across a man and woman inside what looked like a cave structure, both dressed in ceremonial clothing. From the setup, it seems like they were about to perform some kind of ritual. It makes you wonder, what else could be hiding in plain sight on Google Earth? A group of men were out at sea when they encountered something truly unusual in the water. This creature was brownish and somewhat transparent, moving smoothly beneath the surface. It didn't breach or leap out of the water like a typical sea animal, but instead, it lingered around them, staying just out of reach. Its airy appearance, almost as if it was from another world, makes you wonder, what could it be? Some might speculate it's a type of jellyfish or perhaps an undiscovered sea creature, but the fact that it stayed so close yet just out of view adds an air of mystery to this ocean encounter. Some in the community have screamed blanket octopus, whilst others have shouted mermaid. You've seen the clip. What do you think? The Appalachian Mountains have long been a hotspot for strange occurrences and mysterious lore. Over the years, countless people have reported hearing odd sounds, seeing unexplainable things, and experiencing eerie sensations while visiting the area. Recently, a man living near the region shared a video of his unsettling experience during a hike in the woods. In the footage, he captures a deep, heavy noise, almost like a scratchy hiss, that resonates through the trees. The sound continues for some time, creating a tense and unnerving atmosphere. The man, clearly on edge, yells out, possibly hoping to scare off whatever was making the noise or even catch a glimpse of it. But despite his efforts, nothing appears in the footage. So what could be making these sounds? Some might say it's a large animal like a bear or a mountain lion, but the scratchy hiss seems unnatural for typical wildlife in the region. Others speculate that it could be something more elusive, perhaps a cryptid, or something tied to the countless strange stories that surround the Appalachian wilderness. What are your thoughts? A group of friends were out one day when they came across something truly bizarre. A car parked on the side of the road that seemed to change color.
Oh my god, did you guys just see that? That's mad.
Oh my god, what's that?
It just changed color.
Wait, look, there's someone else coming. What? Is that a portrait?
That's unreal, man.
How did they do that?
The strange thing was that the car's color would shift depending on the color of the clothing worn by the people passing by. One moment it was red, and the next it turned blue when someone wearing a different colored outfit walked past. It appeared almost as if the car was camouflaging itself, adapting to its surroundings. Now, this is quite the spectacle, but it does raise the question, could this be a real high-tech camouflaging car, or is the footage cleverly edited? With the rise of visual effects and editing technology, it's possible that this could be a digital trick, but we can't entirely dismiss the idea of cutting-edge tech either. Color-changing materials and adaptive camouflage exist in theory, and car manufacturers have been exploring these futuristic concepts. What do you think? Could this be an actual breakthrough in vehicle technology or just a digital trick? Share your thoughts.
Oh my god, it just changed again. What? That's so cool.
How about that, mate?
Watch this.
Another car.
In this eerie footage from Brazil's dense forests, what seems like a towering, long-necked creature at first glance quickly morphs into something far more unnerving, a giant snake standing upright. The sheer size and height of this serpent is jaw-dropping, making viewers question if such a sight could really be possible. This sighting has people talking about the legendary Yakumama, a mythical giant serpent from South American folklore. The Yakumama, often described as a snake so massive it could devour anything in its path, is said to inhabit the Amazon River and its surrounding areas. According to local legends, the Yakumama has been feared for centuries, with stories of it being able to create massive waves by simply thrashing in the water. Could this footage be a real-life encounter with the legendary Yakumama, or is it just an unusually large snake captured on camera? What do you think? America, let me share some shocking information with you. Did you know that moldy coffee is actually being sold in the US? Yes, you heard that right. Let me break it down for you.
There's mold in coffee?
It's a big deal. China, all of Europe, and most of South America have government laws protecting their populations from mold in coffee. So I'm not making this up. This is a globally known issue. In the US, there's no law.
Other countries where stricter regulations apply won't allow coffee contaminated with mold to hit the market. But in the US, it seems that moldy coffee is being shipped in containers from overseas and still making its way to store shelves. It's concerning, isn't it? And what's even more disturbing is that this has been researched and documented, yet somehow it's being fed to citizens here. The idea of mold in something as common as coffee really makes you think about what else might be slipping through the cracks when it comes to food safety. What do you think about this? Are we being too trusting of what's being sold to us, or is it time to question what we are consuming more closely?
There's mold in coffee?
It's a big deal. China, all of Europe, and most of South America have government laws protecting their populations from mold in coffee. So I'm not making this up. This is a globally known issue. In the US, there's no law. And
holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. What is that?
A man shared a video recently taken during the early morning hours of September the 13th, 2024 in Virginia. As he was driving, he captured something incredibly strange in the sky. A bright bluish light stretched across the horizon, almost like something was breaching the Earth's atmosphere. It didn't look like anything he'd seen before. Some are speculating it could have been a rocket launch, but there was no official reports of such an event in the area or at the time. So what exactly did he capture? Could it have been a UFO or perhaps something else altogether? I guess we'll never know.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. What is that?
Lenny G, a well-known artist, was driving home one night when something strange happened.
Bro, what am I hearing on my radio? This shit creeping me the out. Nigga.
Out of nowhere, a bright flash of light appeared in the sky, catching him off guard. Almost immediately after the flash, his car radio began to emit an unusual sound. It wasn't music, nor was it the typical static or glitch you might expect from a malfunctioning radio. It was something far stranger, an eerie, almost unidentifiable noise that left him unsettled. Could this bizarre radio interference be linked to the flash of light? Was it perhaps a form of alien communication or something else entirely? The timing between the flash and the radio's strange behavior is too curious to ignore. What do you think? Is there a connection between the two? And could Lenny have experienced something otherworldly that night?
Bro, what am I hearing on my radio? This shit creeping me the out. Nigga.
Take a look at this mukbang. It's certainly not for the faint-hearted. These men have a bowl filled with large black spiders paired with lettuce, peppers, and a dipping sauce. One by one, they grab a spider, wrap it in a lettuce leaf, dip it in the sauce, and take a crunchy bite. Phew, that sound is unmistakably crispy and crunchy. It's unsettling to watch, especially knowing what's on the menu, but somehow they seem to be enjoying themselves as they eat. Insects and arachnids have been part of various cultures' diets for centuries, especially in regions where they're seen as a sustainable source of protein. Though it might seem extreme to some, it's quite common in parts of Asia and South America. These cultures embrace insects like crickets, grasshoppers, and even spiders as a normal part of the diet. Insects are considered to be great alternatives to traditional protein sources like fish and meat, as they're rich in nutrients and environmentally friendly to farm. The real question is, Would you dare to try something like this, or is it just too much for you?
Something up there on that hill.
A hiker was out in the woods alone when he noticed something unusual moving through the bushes. Naturally, he took out his phone to capture it on camera. As you can see in the footage, there's clearly something moving. It's a bipedal figure, though the exact details are hard to make out. According to the hiker, the creature had the head of a dog but stood on two legs like a human, something often referred to as a dogman. The footage has people divided. Some call it proof of the mysterious creature, while others suggest it could be an animal or even someone in a costume. What do you make of it? Could this really be evidence of the elusive dogman, or is there a simpler explanation hidden in those shadows?
Something up there on that hill.
How do you feel about hypnotism? It's a fascinating concept, isn't it?
What's your name?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
You don't know your own name?
Take a look at this man hypnotizing people, making them forget their own names. It's wild. Just look at their faces. They've absolutely no clue what their name is. Completely blank. Now, Julius doesn't buy it. He thinks it's all staged. But what do you think? Is this real, or are the participants just playing along? Also, if you've ever experienced hypnotism or know someone who has, share your story in the comments. Let's see if there are some real-life encounters out there.
You no longer remember anything about your name?
Wait.
Yeah.
What? You got it, bro. You got it, bro. You got it.
A craft soaring over snowy mountains captured something mysterious on camera. A fast-moving object zipping past the helicopter. If you watch closely and even slow it down, you can clearly see it's not an insect or debris. The speed and trajectory seem unnatural for something small and close, adding an eerie air to the footage. What could it be? Many might speculate it's a UFO, while others could lean towards some high-speed drone or even a visual glitch. But considering how distinct the object appears and the fact that it was moving in front of the helicopter, it leaves room for plenty of theories. This footage from the streets of New York shows something straight out of a sci-fi movie, a neon green substance seeping up from the sewers. It's an unusual and unsettling sight, leaving people puzzled and speculating about what it could be. Is it some sort of chemical waste, a natural reaction, or even something more sinister? While New York's old sewer system has been known to carry everything from waste to runoff, this bright green liquid looks anything but normal. What could be causing this mysterious leak? Environmental hazard or harmless phenomenon? What are your thoughts? Ladies, this one's for you. According to recent research, 45% of women between the ages of 25 and 44 are expected to be single within the next 6 years. This projection has raised eyebrows, and it's believed that several factors contribute to this trend, including cultural shifts, changing preferences, increased focus on mental and emotional well-being, and the desire for independence. With more women choosing careers, prioritizing self-growth, and redefining what relationships mean to them, It's no wonder we're seeing this shift. What do you think of this trend? Does it reflect your perspective or experience? Beware when making transactions at gas stations, especially after what we discovered in California. A gas station in California called a repairman to fix one of the payment machines, and what he found was shocking. A hidden layer of tabs was placed over the original keyboard, recording every detail you entered, including your payment codes, without you even realizing it. Your account could be emptied. This was discovered in California, but it could be happening anywhere. Also, stay cautious, especially when using card readers at public places like gas stations. Be sure to inspect the machines, and if anything seems suspicious, don't hesitate to report it.
Aquí vemos esta grieta en el ejido Coronel J. Cruz Garvez. Pues no sé si CONAFOR podrá ayudarnos en estos lamentables hechos, pues aquí que se raja la tierra.
This footage taken in Mexico on September the 7th, 2024, shows a massive crack that appears near the city of Hermosillo. This crack is incredibly deep and stretches for a long distance, cutting through the landscape in a way that seems almost unnatural. Locals are baffled as there is no immediate explanation for what could have caused such a massive fissure. Could it have been the result of seismic activity, or perhaps underground shifts due to erosion or water table changes? Some suggest it might be linked to earthquakes, while others believe it could be a sign of ground instability from human activities like drilling or mining. What do you think caused this crack? Could it be a natural disaster waiting to happen, or something else entirely?
No sé, 4 metros, yo creo que tendrá de hondo aquí la tierra. Métete en una zanja, chuluco, a ver qué tan...
There are a whole lot of people who live their lives solely based on their zodiac sign. Well, if you're one of them, I hate to break it to you, but you might be identifying with the wrong sign.
NASA did the math and realized that the ancient astrological calculations were actually off. Turns out there are actually 13 signs, not 12. There's a new one. It's called Ophiuchus. It's for people whose birthdays between November 29th and December 17th.
A new zodiac sign has been discovered, and now instead of 12, there are 13 zodiac signs. The addition is called Ophiuchus, and it shifts the entire zodiac calendar, changing all the dates allocated for each sign. So if you're still following the traditional system, you might want to check out this updated table. It could mean that you're no longer the sign you thought you were. Here's how the new zodiac lineup looks. Now take a look at where your birthday falls. Are you still the same sign, or has your zodiac shifted? Let us know your thoughts.
You were a Taurus.
No, I ain't no word. What you mean? What you mean word? New dates. Whoa. I'm an Aries? What the hell?
Now this is truly unbelievable. In this footage, we see something that seems to completely defy logic. A goat is standing on the side of a tree trunk as if gravity itself decided to take a break. What's more, the goat isn't just hanging onto any branches or footholds, it's perched directly on the vertical side of the tree. Effortlessly nibbling on the leaves, there are no visible supports, no branches for it to balance on, and yet it's standing perfectly still in a position that should be impossible for any creature. This sighting raises so many questions. How can a goat balance on such a steep angle? Could this be some sort of optical illusion? Goats are known for their extraordinary balance and ability to climb on steep surfaces, but this is next level. Maybe we've underestimated the physical capabilities of these animals, or maybe the goat is possessed. Who knows? What do you think? This footage was captured by a ring camera outside the home of an elderly couple. As you can see, they appear to be heading out, unaware of the silent observer just a few meters away, a bear staring right at them. What's shocking here is that the couple seem completely oblivious to the bear's presence, casually locking the door and walking away without even a glance in the animal's direction. Thankfully, the bear didn't react or make any move toward them. It just watched quietly as they went about their business, leaving the scene without incident. While this situation turned out to be harmless, it's a chilling reminder of how unpredictable nature can be and how important it is to stay aware of your surroundings. You never know when a dangerous animal might be nearby, even in your neighborhood. On April the 8th, an eclipse occurred that brought about a lot of speculation and theories, some of which were quite intriguing. One particular case that caught the attention of many was the footage that a man shared.
Listen to me. I'm sitting in my house, right? You see me make a video of somebody or something in the sun. It's a clear day. It's after April the 8th. After the eclipse, so I'm coming out here.
The video was captured on April the 12th, a few days after the eclipse, and featured the sun shining brightly. However, the peculiar aspect of the video was that behind the sun, a strange figure was visible. The figure appeared to be a person walking behind the sun. The video raised many questions and left people wondering what was going on up there. As soon as the footage was shared in the paranormal community, a lot of people dismissed it as a hoax and made fun of the whole situation. However, a few people were still pretty curious about what this could be. It was in the midst of this confusion that the theories started pouring in. One theorized that we may be in the fourth dimension. According to him, this has slowly been happening since 2020. One of the most popular theories, however, was that the whole thing was nothing more than an illusion created by Project Bluebeam. Those who pushed this theory had one lingering question. What could be the motive behind such a projection? This is a question no one had answers to, so Bluebeam Tech, a shift to the fourth dimension, and a possible hoax. What's your pick? What do you guys have in mind when you think about creation? Mostly people link creation to their religion. Most religions believe that there is a God who made all this. Others also believe in the Big Bang, evolution, and a whole lot. During an interview, this man gave an interesting take on how humans were created. Take a listen.
I saw one guy that was like, I referred to him as the keeper of the DNA. Somebody way up the ladder in the Galactic Command Center that had a vault of DNA. And so they'd go, we got a planet that's this far from the sun, the gravity is this, the oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen level is this. And he could take DNA off the shelf and say, okay, we'll make a creature that will live there. And then they'd introduce it. And that was his job, to have the mixture for the right conditions, or to create the conditions on the planet, terraform the planet. That guy moved me when I was looking at him. I got real emotional, like, wow, this is very powerful. I'm really honored.
Did you hear that? So this man is a remote viewer. For those who may not be familiar with the term, a remote viewer is someone who practices remote viewing. Remote viewing is a technique that involves using extrasensory perception to gain information that is not accessible through normal sensory channels. It essentially allows a person to see or perceive things beyond the physical limitations of their body. To do this, the viewer uses various techniques to enter a relaxed or altered state of consciousness, such as meditation or visualization. On one such trip, this man says he meets a man in the Galactic Command Center who has a vault of DNA, including humans, and made us fit the resources that Earth has to provide. Now that is an interesting take on creation, unless of course you don't believe in the ESP stuff and think he's basically just daydreaming.
I saw one guy that was like, I referred to him as the keeper of the DNA.
Still on strange and mysterious animal captures, picture this: a serene, snow-covered landscape, a man and his faithful dog on a tranquil hike. It sounds like the perfect winter outing until an unexpected turn of events shatters the peace. As they ventured through the snow, the man's dog, typically lively and carefree, suddenly dashed ahead, only to return moments later trembling with fear. This unusual behavior prompted the man to grab his phone and start recording, and what he captured was truly spine-chilling. In the footage, a dark, towering figure was seen moving silently among the snow-clad trees. It was a moment that sent shivers down the hiker's spine, compelling him to cut his hike short and hasten back to the safety of his home. But here's where the story takes a truly unsettling turn. Upon returning home, he realized that the ominous figure from the woods seemed to have followed him. It was lurking outside his house like a shadowy specter refusing to let go. The question that lingers is, what could this mysterious presence be? Was it the elusive Bigfoot, a spectral Slender Man, or perhaps something even more sinister and unexplainable? Share your thoughts. Trail cams indeed provide us with intriguing glimpses of the natural world, and security cameras too have a knack for capturing inexplicable moments. In the still images captured in the dead of night, a scene unfolds that transcends the boundaries of explanation. Before us, a luminous, of ordinary ethereal being materializes, suspended above the homeowner's car. It exudes an otherworldly aura, its form cloaked in a radiant, hazy shroud. On closer inspection, we discern the semblances of a figure adorned in flowing white robes that seems to meld seamlessly with the surrounding mist. A careful look reveals further details: a head, rounded and enigmatic, and an enigmatic horizontal form that bears an uncanny resemblance to a celestial sword. The interplay of light and shadow in these images conjures an almost dreamlike quality, an impression of the divine rendered in pixels. It's intriguing that the homeowner, a person of faith, interprets this apparition as their guardian angel. The notion of angelic guardianship has long been a source of comfort and inspiration for many, a belief that extends beyond any one religious tradition. Whether one ascribes a spiritual significance to this phenomenon or simply marvels at its enigmatic beauty, the image still sparks a sense of wonder. Crucially, the integrity of these images has undergone scrutiny and remains untarnished by manipulation, adding an extra layer of intrigue to this captivating encounter. What do you think, though, angelic or not?
Then the ice starts to go from smooth to starting to break up here.
Like, where are we right now? What planet is this? Just take a photo picture. I like how that Earth is meeting the glacier. See that interesting shape?
Oh wow, yeah. Making? Just mesmerized. I've never seen terrain like this.
It's so insane, isn't it? How? Because this is right at the edge of it.
These two guys shared a video of themselves allegedly flying over the forbidden icy walls of Antarctica. Take a look. It's just ice as far as the eye can see, stretching out endlessly beneath them. But as captivating as it seems, most viewers aren't buying it. The skeptics were quick to weigh in. One commenter said, "Although I'd like to see Antarctica from this view, I'm pretty sure these guys are in Alaska." Another added, "This is not behind the ice wall, lol. This looks very much like the Appalachian in Switzerland." But here's the twist. Some believers argue that this skepticism is exactly what they want. By discrediting videos like this, they say the truth stays hidden in plain sight. Could it be that these guys are onto something, or is it just another case of mistaken geography? So what do you think? Also, did I say the name of the place in Switzerland right? Because to me it sounded like complete gobbledygook. Maybe someone can give me a pronunciation in the comments section.
Then the ice starts to go from smooth to starting to break up here.
Like, where aren't we right now? What planet is this? Just take a folk picture.
It's been a while, but we got bonus footage for you today, and you know what that means, right? You have the opportunity to identify the animal responsible for the sound you hear for fame and glory. Do you hear that sound? What creature do you think is responsible for it? Can you tell? If you can, your task is simple. Name the exact species that it is and add a rare fact. If you're able to do so, your name shall be immortalized among the few names of individuals on this channel who've succeeded in doing so. Start with bonus footage when you answer in the comments section so we easily identify it. The most accurate description with the rarest fact will win a feature in our next video. All the best. This next footage presents us with an eerie and enigmatic discovery deep within the woods, a structure that defies conventional explanation. The assortment of sticks and twigs, intricately tied together, forms a peculiar shrine or grave site that suggests a level of craftsmanship and purpose beyond typical human activity. One striking detail that cannot be overlooked is the sheer size and weight of the logs used in constructing this enigmatic formation. It becomes evident that this endeavor likely required a great deal of strength, making it improbable for the work of an ordinary human. The presence of bones and animal fur, meticulously arranged and intertwined, adds a layer of mystique to this already baffling discovery. Could this be the handiwork of the elusive Bigfoot, a creature often associated with the depths of the wilderness? Is it a form of communication, a ritualistic site, or even a burial ground for some unknown entity? The questions raised by this footage only deepen the intrigue surrounding the mysteries of the forest. As with many discoveries of this nature, we're left to ponder the origins and purpose of this structure, adding another chapter to the ever-evolving story of unexplained phenomena in the natural world. We all know that the King of Pop, Michael Jackson, passed away in 2009. However, there have been rumors that he might not actually be dead and that his death was a lie. Take a look at this footage. The ambulance that was supposed to have taken his body wrapped in a white sheet on a stretcher was secretly filmed by a fan at another building. Instead of wheeling out a body, the man is seen guiding a smaller person out of the van and in the building. And that's not all. After his death, a man named Dave appeared on TV, and his voice sounded eerily similar to Michael Jackson's. Take a listen.
And there were all these Paul McCartney records all over this, The Girl Is Mine, and, you know, this and that. 13 solo albums, solo appearances on TV shows. And there were all these Paul McCartney records. But of course you always feel things out.
Hear that? Yeah, very similar. Michael Jackson was known for his exceptional skill in disguises because of how people would swarm him whenever he went out. He often wore elaborate disguises that were incredibly convincing. He was a master of disguise. So what do you think? Did Michael Jackson fake his own death to gain freedom, or is this theory too extreme to believe?
in 2 minutes.
A man was driving at night when he noticed something alarming. Ahead of him, a small 4-wheeled cycle was moving along the road. But it wasn't just cruising, it had something attached to the back that was spewing fire onto the side of the road, which bordered a forest. As the man continued to drive, you could clearly see a line of fire trailing behind the cycle, setting the base of the woods ablaze. The person on the cycle kept going, leaving a long, burning path in their wake. The sight was shocking, and the first thought that came to mind was arson. With so many forest fires occurring without any clear cause, this scene looked incredibly suspicious. One commenter, however, suggested a different explanation: a ditch burning. For those unfamiliar with it, ditch burning is a controlled method used to clear vegetation or debris, often on the sides of the road or fields. It's typically done to prevent larger, uncontrolled fires by eliminating potential fuel for wildfires. But even if that's the case, the way it was being done here at night, with fire spreading into the forest, seems reckless and dangerous. But what do you guys think? Is this a case of controlled ditch burning gone wrong, or is there something more sinister at play? I will be reading your comments.
You say hi? No? You don't want to say hi? What was that?
A woman and her child were walking on a trail when they heard a loud shriek that seems to come out of nowhere. The child, who was sitting on the ground, even heard it and began to crawl away. In another encounter, a hiker on a lonely trail heard a strange shrieking sound that started from a distance but kept getting closer.
And I keep hearing that same scream. Here it is again.
The suspected cryptid? The Skinwalker. For those who don't know, Skinwalkers are a fascinating and mysterious part of Navajo legend that has captured the imagination of people worldwide. These creatures are known for their mischievous behavior and their ability to transform into any animal they desire. They're also known to be dangerous, and it's said that they can cause harm to those who cross their path. According to Navajo tradition, the only way to kill a Skinwalker is with a bullet dipped in white ash. Despite their fictional origins, many people believe that skinwalkers are real, and there have been numerous sightings and encounters reported throughout the years. Some people claim to have heard strange sounds in the woods, such as loud shrieks and eerie howls that they believe are the calls of skinwalkers. Others have reported seeing shadowy figures lurking in the darkness, or even encountering animals that seem to possess an uncanny intelligence and an otherworldly aura. While some people are convinced that these encounters are proof of the existence of skinwalkers, others are more skeptical. Some argue that the sounds captured on camera could be the calls of ordinary animals or even fake sounds created to attract attention.
It's definitely not a bird or some kind of animal.
Clones have been one of the most talked about conspiracies when it comes to government cover-ups. It's a popular belief among the masses that the government creates clones of people in high positions for reasons unknown to the public. Additionally, there are also claims that celebrities are cloned as well. Now, I know you might have come across this footage several times, but let's revisit it. For those who don't know anything about it, this was taken during Katy Perry's concert in Las Vegas, Nevada. In the clip, we can see that she's on stage staring at her audience while they cheered. This iconic moment is, however, interrupted by her eyes glitching. One began to open and close uncontrollably like you typically see with a broken Barbie doll. Realizing this, she touched her temple ever so slightly and the twitching stopped. This is not normal human function, and people had a lot to say about it. While many insisted she had to be a clone, there were some who thought she might be unwell. One user pointed out the possibility of stroke, but a lot more subscribed to the idea of her being a clone of the original. Now, what do you make of it? Was this a genuine case of human cloning, or is this something else entirely?
Make even more noise for my band.
Our next clip is one of many videos about people discovering fake plastic food items. This woman's example involves chicken. Take a look.
Does something look wrong here? Like, why is it like that? Look at it. And it's like, it feels like there's skin on it, but it's boneless and skinless. Like,
just look at the texture. It appears to have a plastic covering, and as she pokes it, it feels mushy inside. What is going on out there? What is happening to our food? Seeing something as fundamental as a chicken looking and feeling fake is unsettling. How can consumers ensure the food they're buying is real and safe to eat? The idea of fake food infiltrating our market is both alarming and infuriating. So far, however, we've had accounts of people online. Can any of you confirm if you have ever come across something like this, or at least personally know someone who has? We want to make sure this isn't propaganda, and quite frankly, we don't think it is. But we want to give it the benefit of the doubt.
does something look wrong here? Like, why is it like that? Look at it.
This footage was taken in Mexico. Two men were outside when they noticed an odd-looking star. Out of nowhere, the star emitted a green laser beam that moved around and then vanished. Paranormal enthusiasts believe this could be evidence of alien activity. However, one commenter offered a different perspective that got me thinking. Fake. It's a hill where the green laser is being pointed by someone on the hill. Those laser pointers are sold at fairs. You've seen the clip as well. Do you think this could be the case here? Let us know in the comments section if you think this explanation makes sense or if you have another theory. We'll be reading. In Mexico, there's a famous entity known as La Llorona. This spirit of a woman is mostly seen weeping, and when people hear ominous cries at night, they often believe it's La Llorona. However, in this footage, a man encountered something entirely different.
No mames, miren esa madresota. No mames. ¿Quién eres, güey? No mames, ¿quién eres? Ay, capaz, de su puta madre. No mames.
At first, he heard strange sounds like a woman weeping and whimpering, but couldn't see what it was. He kept calling out to it, trying to locate the source of the eerie cries. Suddenly, emerging from the dark was a huge dark figure crawling toward him. Terrified, the man ran out of there as fast as he could. The question remains, what did he encounter? While the wailing matched the traditional description, the appearance of the large crawling figure deviates from the typical ghostly image. What do you think this dark figure could be?
No mames, miren esa madresota. No mames. ¿Quién eres, güey? No mames, ¿quién eres? Ay, capaz, de su puta.
There are stories of creatures that make strange sounds to lure people toward them, only to attack or capture them. One such creature known for this behavior is the Skinwalker. Apart from their ability to shapeshift, Skinwalkers are said to use eerie sounds to draw people in. Take this footage, for instance. Someone was out one night when they began hearing a strange noise. It sounded like some sort of gurgling or choking sound. Yet as they looked ahead toward where the sound was coming from, there was no one and nothing in sight. The person scanned the area with their camera, but the source of the noise was nowhere in sight. The footage ends without revealing the source of the sound, leaving viewers to speculate. Some believe it was a genuine Skinwalker encounter, citing the creature's notorious reputation for using sound to disorient and trap its victims. Others suggested it might have been an animal or even a clever hoax. As intriguing as these sound, I'd like to hear from you. What do you think of everything? Recently, Ryan Garcia has been sharing his views on various government conspiracies. In this footage, he makes a video while hospitalized with tubes up his nose. Take a look.
Come on now, the rapture is coming, Jesus is coming back, the aliens, they already have Project Bluebeam. Project Bluebeam is the fact that aliens are being slowly put out, okay? Project Bluebeam is this. Why do you think they slowly started putting out aliens since Roswell? Because you can't handle the truth right away. It would have caused a great mass delusion or whatever, right? Just everybody would be chaotic. So they do it slowly, and it's for a reason, because it says in the Bible that there'll be a great delusion cast out on earth. What do you think that great delusion is? And you guys can pull up the verses.
In the video, Garcia discusses how the talk of aliens is propaganda designed to deceive us when the rapture happens. He claims that aliens are not otherworldly beings, but demons in disguise. Garcia's perspective is certainly provocative and has sparked a lot of debate. His stance is that these so-called extraterrestrial encounters are part of a larger deception to distract humanity from spiritual truths. Given his background as a professional boxer, it's intriguing to see him delve into such controversial topics. It's worth noting that Garcia's outspoken views cost him his standing in the boxing community, adding another layer to the discussion. What do you think on his take on these matters?
What do you think they're going to get tricked by? They're going to get tricked by that it was an alien abduction. Understand, this is happening in real time. You guys need to wake up. Who's involved? The people, the principalities, the powers that be, the ones that are setting it up, the ones that are releasing the footage. Listen to what I'm saying. It's happening. I told you guys about the rules of satanic worship. It needs to be in front of your face. Why do you think they put the stuff on Simpsons? Why do you think all the things are right in front of your face, but nobody is paying attention? They're like, there's no way that could be true.
If you've been watching our channel for the past few weeks, then you're aware of the fact that strange cloud formations have been spotted all around the world, and eerily, they look so similar to each other, even though each clip comes from a different place and time. One popular variation is clouds that are ring-shaped, with smoke like dust swirling around them. Many people believe these formations are cloaked UFOs, while others suggest they might be portals. On the other hand, skeptics argue that they're just natural cloud formations and nothing more. The striking similarity between these sightings raises questions. How can these clouds appearing in such different locations look almost identical? Could there be a connection, or is it just a coincidence? Are they a sign of something more, or just nature playing tricks on us? Julius scoffs anytime we bring this up, but Aaron insists there's something going on. But what do you guys think? Stepping away from the strange, I've got something fascinating for you. Take a good look. In the clip, you can see what looks like a jellyfish moving gracefully through the water. Its bell has beautiful detailed patterns, and its long flowing tentacles drift behind. While these tentacles can sting, they also highlight the stunning beauty and fascinating complexity of the jellyfish. This creature is known as a Chirodectes. Chirodectes is a rare and mesmerizing species of box jellyfish discovered in the mysterious depths of the ocean. Unlike many other jellyfish, Chirodectes exhibit unique and captivating features. Its translucent body and pulsating movements give it an almost otherworldly appearance. Seeing the Chirodectes jellyfish showcases the amazing variety of life in the deep sea, a realm that's still largely unexplored and full of mysteries. The ocean's depths are teeming with countless undiscovered species, each with its own unique way of surviving and adapting to the harsh conditions. I know I've said it before, but it's a wonderful world, isn't it?
Oh my gosh.
This is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
It sounds like a goat is dying.
What in the heck?
We have mentioned time and time again how fruits are becoming strange on the market. This family allegedly bought a seedless watermelon from Walmart, and whilst cutting through it, it made strange sounds. Pay attention.
It sounds like a goat is dying.
What in the heck?
You heard that right. It's strange and very unnatural. For some reason, however, we keep coming across more of such fruit clips, which has left the team worried. We feel like it's our responsibility to warn you guys, so please be careful out there.
We bought like an acid ball watermelon.
Ew. It doesn't smell good. Oh my gosh.
That thing was fizzing and popping.
Closer to it.
A man was driving out of a parking lot when he noticed something unusual in the sky. Intrigued, he parked his car and zoomed in with his camera. There it was, a UFO hovering in the sky. Unlike the animated footage we're used to seeing, this one looked like the real deal. The object wasn't moving very fast and it was drifting slowly across the sky. The slow and steady movement of the UFO made the sighting even more compelling. This isn't a quick flash or a blurry speck, it's clear and deliberate. Could this be genuine evidence of extraterrestrial activity?
Allá anda atrás del árbol un ovni. Lo miramos y se anda escondiendo y ahí anda jugando atrás del árbol. Mira.
Oye, va para arriba.
Ay, papá.
Ya subimos de la lámpara, ya subimos de la lámpara.
This footage, taken in Mexico back in 2015, captures a curious and unexplained sighting. A group of men were hanging out at night when they noticed something unusual in the sky. Intrigued, they zoomed in on the glowing object, and what they found left them puzzled. The object was unlike any regular UFO or drone they had ever seen. It appeared to be a rock-like structure, but it didn't have a defined shape. Instead, it was irregular and oddly shiny, casting an eerie glow as it hovered in the night sky. The object's appearance was far from what one might expect from a typical aircraft or drone, adding to the mystery. What are we really looking at here? Could it be some unknown technology, or perhaps a natural phenomena that's yet to be explained? Share your thoughts. The AI revolution is here, and no one is safe, not even artists.
AI created music.
Like Julia, you are like the sun.
Have you heard about the new feature on YouTube Shorts? It's pretty incredible. Users can now create any song they want using the voices of their favorite artists. Imagine remixing a classic tune or creating an entirely new track with the vocals of top musicians. This feature opens up a world of creative possibilities for aspiring musicians and content creators alike. You can experiment with different genres, mix various artists' voices, and produce unique music videos. It's like having a virtual studio at your fingertips. Not only does this bring fun, interactive element to YouTube Shorts, but it also allows fans to engage with their favorite artists in a completely new way. Whether you're a seasoned musician or just someone who loves to play around with music, this feature is something for everyone. While this must be exciting for the fans, you have to wonder, how will the actual artists feel? It's almost impossible for them to sue since this is being developed in conjunction with the major studios out there. In other words, artists don't have much of a say. Am I the only one who finds this innovation sad? Anyway, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section.
Drinking tequila, hanging with my friends.
Yeah, AI is crazy, bro.
I got 1,000 people watching me.
Bro, I ain't made a song like this in years.
I haven't said this before, but this time I need to. Whatever you do, do not try what you are about to see in this clip at home.
Yeah, that might be it. Hey, we got it.
Try it again.
No way! No way! In the clip, you can see two cars with two men standing between them. Both men have one hand on a car battery and their free hand holding each other. One man stands on the ground while the other leans on one car with his feet propped up on another. Miraculously, the car starts without using jumper cables. A commenter who claimed to be an auto tech with almost 15 years of experience shared his insight. As an auto tech of almost 15 years, I'd say it is plausible given the guy in the vehicle jumping the other car has himself grounded to both cars. The other guy holding his hand is on the actual ground. They have completed the circuit like jumper cables would. Some sketchy stuff, but it's possible. So is this the case here? Can humans really complete an electrical circuit to jumpstart a car? Well, as you would expect, there was an ongoing war in the comments section. Some thought it was possible, with the only catch being the electricity going through their bodies was bad for their hearts. Others simply thought it was ludicrous. They thought the clip might have been edited or that the car didn't really need to be jump-started. This is out of my expertise, and Julius, our science whiz, only laughs when I ask if this is possible. So in times like this, I turn to you all who are experts in this field with a humble heart and puppy eyes. Could you please tell us all if this is possible, as we'd really love to learn from you.
No way! No way!
A man was at a dam when he noticed something unusual, a set of 3 fins cutting through the surface of the water. At first glance, they looked like the fins of a fish, but their sheer size and location raised some serious questions. How could fish that large have ended up in a dam like this? Some people argue that these fins belong to a group of large fish, somehow finding their way into the dam. Others, however, believe that there's something far more intriguing and possibly more dangerous beneath the water. Could it be an undiscovered aquatic creature, or maybe even something from the deep that has ventured into unknown territory? Hard to say, but what do you think? Next, we've got footage that was taken by a tourist who had visited Thailand back in 2022.
What's that? What's that? Yeah, what's that? What's that?
They went biking through the woody mountains and had to walk part of the way to reach one of their destinations. In the video, you can see one person walking ahead of the person filming. When they got to the top, they set the camera down, and that's when the camera guy noticed something among the trees. They went to investigate but didn't see anything. However, the camera captured a creature. It was a reptilian-like entity that crept out from the bushes and quickly went back into hiding when the men moved closer. You can see its shoulders, head, and one arm it used to climb out. The hands, shoulders, and head looked humanoid except that the body was reptilian and the palm appeared webbed. What could this mysterious creature be? Is it a cryptid, some unknown species, or perhaps something else entirely? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section.
What the f*** is that? What's that? Yeah, what's that?
Hi there! Oh my goodness!
Behold the Dobson fly. With its long antennas on its head and wings with intricate patterns, it almost looks like a delicate dancer as it rotates on the girl's palm.
Oh, look at the baby! Oh, she's doing the spins! She's doing the spins!
The Dobson fly is known for its striking appearance and mesmerizing movements. These insects are large, with impressive wingspans and antennae that help them navigate their environment. They're agile too, capable of delicate rotations that add to their captivating charm. In its larvae stage, the Dobson fly lives underwater, feeding on other aquatic creatures. As adults, they emerge to feed on nectar and are often seen near bodies of water where they lay their eggs. Despite their imposing appearance, Dobson flies are harmless to humans and play an important role in their ecosystems. Cool, huh?
Oh, she's doing the spins! She's doing the spins! Hi! Hi there!
Walk to the end of this tunnel, see what's back here.
If you searched hard enough on your next visit to Los Angeles, you're sure to find an extensive network of abandoned tunnels that were used to secretly transport alcohol and other goods. There are an estimated 91 tunnels crisscrossing beneath the city that were originally constructed during the Prohibition era for the purpose of secret goods transport. Over the years, the tunnels have served various purposes beyond their initial use. They've been utilized for transportation, connecting key parts of the city, and providing passageways for utility conduits. These tunnels are a significant, albeit hidden, part of Los Angeles infrastructure. Today, many of these tunnels are inaccessible, either sealed off or restricted to the public. Despite this, they remain a fascinating element of the city's history, a testament to its adaptive and clandestine past. The stories and legends surrounding these tunnels continue to intrigue both locals and visitors, preserving their legacy as a mysterious and integral component of Los Angeles. A part of me wants to investigate these tunnels, but who knows what we'll find down there. That's without considering the laws we'll be breaking. Has any of you seen these tunnels? Any stories to share? A hiker was out in the foggy woods when he started to feel uneasy, so he took out his phone and began to record his surroundings. That is when he found this. There in the fog was a tall, dark figure. As he moved further and looked around, the figure seemed to be everywhere. He didn't know if it was the same figure appearing repeatedly or if there were multiple figures, but it seemed these strange figures were following him. Imagine the fear and confusion in such a situation, being surrounded by mysterious figures in the fog, unsure if it's a trick of the light or something more sinister. The eerie presence and the feeling of being watched would send chills down anyone's spine. What could these figures be? Are they shadows or something supernatural? Back to the subject of portals, someone captured this strange sight while on a plane. We're not exactly told where the person was headed, but it was uploaded as real footage and it's got the paranormal community scratching their heads. Looking at the clip, it looks like some translucent circular contraption. The individual who uploaded it insists it's an interdimensional portal, even though we see nothing coming in nor going out through it. A number of individuals who saw the original post stated they believed it was true. Others also expressed skepticism and gave sarcastic comments teasing the USA for being the country to experience a number of these incidents. Now you guys see the clip. What do you also think about it? Children are very playful and imaginative, often having the wildest of imaginations. However, it's also believed that they are more attuned to the spiritual realm because of their innocence, making them more likely to see things that adults cannot.
Oh my God! What's the matter? I just want to sleep with you now.
A mother placed a camera in her daughter's room after the girl started waking up in the middle of the night, screaming that an evil man was watching her. What she captured during one of those nights is chilling. By the bed was a strange-looking face staring right at the girl. In another footage, the woman heard strange noises coming from her daughter's room. But when she checked, there was no one there. This indicates that the child was not just seeing things, but the question remains, what could this entity be, and why is it targeting the little girl? Speaking of strange and unexplainable phenomena, take a look at this one. So, a group of explorers allegedly came across this previously uncontacted tribe deep in the woods. The tribe was naturally careful of their strange and uninvited visitors. They looked at them with confusion and tried to scare them off. Despite their best efforts, these individuals stayed and recorded them. Now, we're not told where this took place, but it's supposed to be deep within the woods. The first time I saw this, I was genuinely afraid for the explorers, because uncontacted tribes don't mess around. They could definitely kill you if they thought you were a threat. These guys, however, were way too understanding and did not harm the explorers despite being provoked. That's when I noticed it. Although this was supposed to be out in the deep woods, there appeared to be a tarred road in one of the shots. If this was an uncontacted tribe deep in the woods, then it's unlikely that there would be tarred roads anywhere near them. This does bring credibility to the whole clip into question. What do you guys think? This strange-looking fish was captured by a group of fishermen in Mexico, and it's got everyone scratching their heads. At first glance, it looks like a very flattened frog with an odd, almost comical appearance. But this peculiar creature is actually known as an Odocephalus, commonly referred to as a batfish. The Odocephalus belongs to a group of fish that are bizarre as they are fascinating. With their flattened bodies and limb-like fins, they resemble a mix between a frog and a fish. These creatures usually dwell in the deep sea, where their unusual features help them navigate the ocean floor. Instead of swimming like most fish, they use their fins to walk along the bottom, hunting for prey in the dark depths. Have you ever seen a fish like this before? A man was walking by these lush green plants when he noticed something unusual. There was movement beneath the foliage. It seemed there was a mass hidden under the plants, but it wasn't just static. Something really big was moving beneath the surface. The way the plants shifted and rustled indicated that whatever was underneath had significant size and strength. Could it be a large animal, a hidden mechanism, or something else entirely? The sheer mystery of the situation is enough to pique anyone's curiosity and concern. Just before the clip ends, however, we see something foggy around the area the greens are rustling. What do you think it could be? Here we have another strange sighting in the sky.
Get out the way.
A man noticed a straight line cutting across the sky, almost as if the sky itself was being divided by this line. This phenomenon is quite puzzling and has left many people wondering about its origin. The footage shows a clear, straight line that appears almost too perfect to be natural. It stretches across the horizon, creating a stark contrast between the two halves of the sky. This has raised numerous questions and speculations. Some speculate that it is a sign of advanced technology or even extraterrestrial activity. The precision of the line looks like the involvement of technology beyond what we currently understand, perhaps UFOs or secret military experiments. Others are considering the possibility of a naturally occurring optical illusion. Reflections, refractions, and light scattering can sometimes create surprising visual effects, making the sky appear divided by a line. Do you think this could be the result of any of those, or do you think there might be something more serious and ominous at play here? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section.
Y'all see the line?
Watermelon out over a week ago. It smelled really good. Bought it from Walmart. Cut it open, and it was like plastic. Tasting it was absolutely horrible. I didn't really know what to do with it, so I threw it outside. This is a week later. It looks like mud. What's going on?
This is another clip from another set of melons allegedly bought from Walmart and thrown away because they tasted strange. Do you realize they aren't breaking down and looking like raw meat? Melons aren't supposed to look like that, which has left almost everyone confused, as many in the forums argued that the government was killing us. There was also some who thought that this was normal and exactly what melons are supposed to look like when they dry out. Do we have any farmers or fruit experts among you who can confirm and educate us? We'll be reading in the comments.
This is a week later. It looks like mud. What's going on?
What's going on with these cars? The front hoods are inflated like balloons. I was very confused myself, especially since in one of the clips the person was still driving the car. I thought it would explode, but one commenter said that this was just the car wrapped inflating due to heat. It turns out that the car wrap, a protective or decorative covering applied to the vehicle, can sometimes expand or bubble up when exposed to high temperatures. This creates an alarming appearance of an inflated hood, but it's generally not a sign of an imminent explosion. While it looks dramatic, it's a reminder of how heat can affect different materials on our cars. It's always best to keep an eye on such occurrences and consult a professional if you notice any unusual change in your vehicle. Have you ever seen something like this happen? What was your initial reaction? You all know the story of the crow that wanted to drink from a jar of water, so it puts rocks into the jar to make the water rise. Watch this. Someone captured that same scene, but in real life. Would you look at that? This crow does the same thing. It tries to drink from a glass bottle, but the water is too low, so it picks up pebbles and drops them into the bottle until the water is high enough for it to have a drink. This remarkable footage shows the intelligence and problem-solving abilities of crows. They've often been observed using tools and displaying behaviors that demonstrate advanced cognitive skills. Watching this crow replicate the ancient fable is both fascinating and awe-inspiring. It makes you wonder about the intelligence of animals and how much they understand about their environment. What other surprising behaviors might animals exhibit that we haven't noticed yet? There are things people expect to happen at 2 o'clock in the morning, and being woken up by a cat crying is not one of them.
¿Qué onda eso?
Now, this man doesn't own a cat, yet the cries were so loud it sounded like the cat was inside his house. He went to investigate and found something even more disturbing. Behind the storage closet, he saw the figure of a child about 10 years old, which is odd since his children are only 3 and 4 years old. Once more, his children were fast asleep in their rooms. He opened the closet door, heart pounding, but found no one there. That was not normal and it left him shaken. And I understand that if I had my kids in a house where these things were happening, I'd be concerned too. So who or what was the figure behind the closet? This situation is incredibly eerie. The combination of the mysterious cat's cries and the apparition of a childlike figure is enough to send chills down anyone's spine. What do you think the man encountered that night? Screams and an eerie atmosphere coupled with the fact that this was recorded at 1 o'clock in the morning gives this clip all the important ingredients for a horror thriller recipe. Watching this for the first time made my skin crawl. It felt ominous, as though something evil was in the atmosphere. After watching the clip several times, I realized that the entity was actually screaming something. I did the research and realized she was screaming in an Indonesian language. She screamed, "Tolong bukain," which means, "please open it." This went on for 2 days, and for some odd reason, the individual whose house this was happening decided to open the door on the 3rd day of knocking. Once the door opens, there's a strange and perhaps old-looking woman standing behind it in a strange posture. This makes the individual quickly close the door and call the police. Once the police got there, however, whatever it was gone, never to be seen again. I think it was insane to open the door. It could have been anyone or anything out there, but perhaps that's just me. What would you have done in his shoes? This next image was taken from a monitor. A woman had her sick mother staying with her, needing constant attention and care. Since she was busy most of the time, she set up a camera in the room to keep an eye on her mother. One evening, while glancing at the monitor, she noticed something strange. There was this glowing arm, seemingly ethereal, gently resting on her mother's arm as she slept. The arm appeared almost translucent, with a soft, otherworldly glow surrounding it. It wasn't a part of her mother's body, nor did it belong to anyone else in the room. The woman was understandably shocked and concerned. The glowing arm seemed to be touching her mother with a delicate, almost comforting gesture. Some might say it looked like a guardian spirit, offering a calming presence in a time of need. Others could argue it was a trick of the light, perhaps a reflection or glamour glitch. But what do you think? This video is said to be leaked footage from one of the secret bases hidden around the world. The story goes that someone managed to sneak inside, and what they found is downright eerie. The footage shows rows upon rows of hyper-realistic human face masks. These masks are unlike anything you've ever seen before. Made of silicone, they look incredibly lifelike, almost indistinguishable from real human faces. Every wrinkle, every pore, and even the slight imperfections you'd expect on a real face are there, making these masks appear disturbingly realistic. The camera pans across the room, revealing racks filled with these faces, hanging like some sort of macabre gallery. The sight is unsettling, faces without bodies, just waiting to be worn. What makes this even more bizarre is how advanced these masks seem to be. They go far beyond the silicone masks you might find in a costume shop. These look like they could fool anyone into thinking they were real. It begs the question, what could these masks be used for? Is there a darker purpose behind their creation? The idea that these faces could be worn by someone to impersonate another person sends chills down my spine. If this footage is real, it opens up a Pandora's box of possibilities, from secret agents using them for covert missions to something more sinister like identity theft on a level we've never imagined. What do you think is really going on here? While on a hike, a man saw a huge creature standing on a mountain overlooking the trail. It was a very big humanoid being appearing to be about 9 foot tall or more. The sheer size of this creature has led many to believe that it could be a Bigfoot or a giant. The figure's towering presence and human-like shape are certainly striking, making it easy to see why people would draw such conclusions. The idea of encountering a Bigfoot or a giant is both thrilling and unsettling, sparking curiosity and debate. What do you think? Could this be a genuine sighting of a legendary creature, or is there another explanation? If you're wondering why I'm showing you pictures of an old bench, take a good look at it. Do you see it now? There appears to be a shadow of a woman either sitting on or kneeling by the bench. See? Good. But how do we explain it? Well, as far as I can tell, there's no logical explanation for what we're seeing here. At least, not from my perspective. Do you have one for me? I know it's been a while, but thought before we move on to the next clip, I'd give you a short quiz in our bonus session. What I'm about to show you is something only a few have seen. If you know what it is, then you are no average person. Do you know what this is? Have you seen it before? Can you share one unique characteristic about it? If you can, then the comments section is all yours. Educate and wow us. Give Julius a run for his money. Pause the clip and tell us all you know. I can't wait to receive your comments. This beautiful cloud in the sky looks like a stairway. Now, this has been a phenomenon that has been sighted all around the world. It's quite mesmerizing to see, but it also has everyone asking, is this literally a stairway to heaven, a glimpse into the divine, or is it just some weather phenomenon? These cloud formations, often referred to as ladder clouds or staircase clouds, captivate our imaginations with their seemingly perfect steps ascending into the sky. While many find spiritual or mystical significance in these formations, meteorologists have explanations rooted in atmospheric science. Such formations can occur due to specific wind patterns and moisture levels, causing clouds to align in a visually striking manner. So what do you think? Is this a good enough explanation, or do you think there is more? Pigeons, like all birds, have wings and feathers. The clip I'm about to show you, however, features a pigeon that was captured with strange markings in its wings that were only visible under UV light. Enjoy. You see it, don't you? This naturally left all who saw it with questions. Could pigeons still be in use as spy birds? Have secret organizations found a way to alter their bodies to suit their needs? It's hard to say, but who can argue with evidence? It's right there, unless of course the whole thing is a hoax and someone is having a laugh seeing us trying to figure this out. As always, I showed this to my science whiz Julius, waiting to be teased, but instead he was quiet. That's his way of saying, I don't think this is real, but it's not impossible to pull off. You've seen it too. What do you think is going on here? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Is this how full chicken is made or processed? In this clip, someone picked up a dressed chicken and inserts a strange-looking tube into it through the neck. As they pump the substance into the chicken, it swells up and looks plump, like a fat chicken. We're not sure what's being pumped into the chicken, but it certainly doesn't look healthy. The substance being injected could be anything from water to chemical fillers, which raises significant concerns about food safety and consumer health. It's alarming to think that this practice might be used to artificially enhance the appearance of poultry, making it seem more appealing and increasing its weight for higher sales. If true, this could mean that consumers are unknowingly buying adulterated products, potentially exposing themselves to harmful substances. Am I the only one worried about what's happening to our food recently? I'm going to need a scientific explanation for this next one. In the clip, a girl turns on the tap in the kitchen sink, and as the water flows, she places an egg under the running water, leaves it there, and it just floats. How is this even possible? Normally, an egg would sink to the bottom of the sink due to its density. However, in this footage, the egg remains suspended in the stream of water, seemingly defying gravity. One possible explanation is that the force of the water creates a balance with the weight of the egg, allowing it to float. The continuous flow of water may be generating enough upward force to counteract the egg's natural tendency to sink. It's safe to say I'm no Julius because I do not know what I'm saying. What do you think is happening here? Could it really be a simple physics trick, or is there something more at play here? This video was taken from a security camera set up in the living room of a house. The homeowner was just casually reviewing the footage when he noticed something odd. Take a look at it. Did you see that? There on the left side of the table, a ghostly figure just walked by. It's so transparent that if you didn't look closely, you might have missed it. Now, what's intriguing is that the homeowner mentioned he'd never experienced any paranormal activity in his house, even after discovering this footage. So what could this be? Was it just an entity casually strolling through the house? I mean, they say that entities are all around us, we just can't see them. Could this be one of those moments where the veil between our world and theirs briefly lifted? It's eerie to think about the possibility of spirits or entities moving about, unnoticed in our daily lives. What do you make of this? A man was walking by a school when he noticed something strange. The school bus in the yard had children's figures running in it. However, it wasn't time for kids to be outside, and the bus wasn't meant for playing. So what exactly could be going on here? Curious, the man got closer to the bus to investigate, only to find out that what he thought were kids had eerily vanished from the bus. When he shared his story, those who heard it believed these figures were spirits of children who had passed away or childlike entities. However, skeptics argue that this could just be a well-crafted hoax. They suggest that reflections, shadows, or even projections could create the illusion of children inside the bus. Yet a similar incident occurred where a camera on a bus showed it filled with kids, and in the next second they'd all vanished. Is this a mere trick of light and shadow, or is something truly out of this world happening? Dogs protect their owners from physical harm, but what do you do when you can't see what your dogs are trying to protect you from? Confused? Well, watch this. It was a peaceful evening until the dog of the one filming started barking. Thinking someone might have snuck into the house, he quickly went to check the feed from his CCTV cameras, and what you're seeing on your screen is exactly what he saw. You do see it, don't you? Some invisible yet smoky and intangible being quickly ran across the compound or room. It repeats a few more times and there's still no tangible body in sight. The man is confused, and I can understand his confusion. I'm sure he was worried and thinking about what exactly had made its way to his home and how he could deal with it. Sure, he could trust his dog to deal with physical foes, but spiritual and intangible ones? Where does he go from there? Anyway, what do you think we could be dealing with? Share your thoughts with me in the comments section. This footage was taken at a yard sale. A woman came across a stand with various items like wooden ladles, mirrors, and other knickknacks. But what stood out was the doll sitting on the table. Take a close look at it. Do you see that? The doll is moving its head ever so slowly. You might almost miss it. It's subtle but undeniably eerie. We don't know if the doll is designed to move with a hidden mechanism or battery, but given its haunting appearance, the woman didn't stick around to find out. She captured the unsettling scene on her phone and quickly moved on. Yard sales are full of unique and sometimes creepy items, but this one takes the cake. Dolls already have a reputation for being a bit spooky, but one that moves on its own, that's a whole different level of creepy. Now tell me, would you buy this for your child, or would you leave it at the yard sale where it belongs? Before we dive into the next clip, I have a quick question. What's the best time of day to go hiking? Because, honestly, I've seen one too many scenarios where people decide to hike in the woods at night, and it almost always ends up with something creepy or downright terrifying. Take this footage, for example. A man was hiking deep in the woods around sundown when things took a turn. As he moved through the trees, he suddenly noticed something ahead, a dark, hulking figure that seemed to pop its head out from behind a tree and just stared at him. The moment he saw it, instinct kicked in and he bolted out of there. Some believe it was a Bigfoot lurking in the shadows, while skeptics suggest it might just have been a person playing a creepy prank. But whatever it was, encountering it at that time of day in such an isolated place is enough to make anyone rethink their hiking plans. So what do you think? Is there a right time to hike, or does the thrill of the unknown make those twilight hikes worth the risk? This image was taken at night, and you can definitely tell just by how grainy the whole thing looks. Given the fact that the image was taken at night, only the outline of the creature captured in it is visible. The dark, shadowy figure stands out against the dim background, making it difficult to discern any specific features beyond its unusual head size and familiar bipedal stance. Could this really be? Yeah, if you said Bigfoot, then you were definitely thinking what I was thinking. Bigfoot is typically described as an ape-like creature with a domed head and a human-like posture. This creature resembles a Bigfoot, except that it has a very small head. Is this just a small-headed Bigfoot, or is there something else going on here? Calling on all Bigfoot experts, please educate us. And if you didn't think any of those clips were weird enough, pay attention to the flower the young guy drops on the coffin. Did you see that? It somehow got absorbed into the coffin, almost as though whomever was buried was taking it. This freaked me out and is still freaking me out. Can anyone offer an explanation to what would make sense? If you have such an experience as well, please share. If the sight of blood scares or disturbs you, you might want to skip ahead a few seconds. If you're still listening, then I guess you're fine. Let's take a look. Now, what we are watching here, men sitting down with blood spurting out of their foreheads. Are they okay? Looks bizarre and weird, doesn't it? Well, this is allegedly a type of treatment done for the elderly. An expert medical practitioner is actually responsible for pricking the hole in the older person's forehead. They say that as people age, they accumulate a lot of impure blood in their system, so by doing this, they're getting rid of some of it. This practice, known as bloodletting, has historical roots and is still practiced in some cultures for various health reasons. The belief is that releasing bad blood can help alleviate certain ailments and improve overall health. However, this method is controversial and not widely accepted in modern medicine due to the risks involved and the lack of scientific evidence supporting its efficiency. What do you think about this? The video shows a jellyfish-like creature floating in the air. Its movement is fluid, as if it's drifting through the water, but it's clearly up in the sky. According to witnesses, this bizarre entity appeared for about 25 seconds before vanishing into the clouds, almost as if it entered a portal. These jellyfish-like creatures in the sky have been a phenomenon often attributed to extraterrestrial activity. The way it moved and disappeared has led many to speculate that it might be some form of alien life or a spacecraft cloaked in a way that mimics natural organisms. Julius, on the other hand, thinks it's doctored footage of a sea hare. For those unfamiliar, the sea hare is a fascinating marine mollusk belonging to the order Anaspidea, known for its distinctive soft and wrinkled body that resembles a hare's ears. They're gentle creatures often found in shallow coastal waters. So yeah, it really does look like a marine creature, but what do you think? Is this a glimpse of something not from our world, or is there a more terrestrial explanation for this strange sighting? Next, we've got a peculiar and curious situation. A man put a fish into an opening that led to a body of water below, and suddenly something snapped the body of the fish off, leaving just the head in his hand. Just like me, I know you might be wondering what creature could be down there that took the fish from his hand. The possibilities are intriguing and alarming. It could be a large predatory fish like a pike or a barracuda, known for their powerful jaws and swift, deadly strikes. Another possibility is an alligator or a crocodile if the water connects to an area where these reptiles live. With their formidable bite strength and lightning-fast reactions, they can easily snap up a fish, leaving a stunned onlooker with just the remnants. The truth, however, is simple. It's hard to tell what we're dealing with. The man, however, appears to know what's down there. One thing we could be happy and thankful for is the fact that at least the man's fingers are intact. You know that haunting feeling of being watched that leaves the hairs on your skin raised? A woman experienced this chilling sensation whilst out in the woods in broad daylight in Connecticut. She stumbled upon an abandoned shack, and as she got closer, she began to feel uneasy, as if she was not alone and someone or something was watching her. To settle her fears, she took out a camera and began to look around but saw nothing, so she decided to return home. At home, she reviewed the footage to see if she had missed anything during her initial search. As she scrutinized the video, she saw it. A dark figure crouched at the side of the shack, its neck stretched out and staring right at her. This figure didn't resemble any wildlife animal she knew, and the sight of it sent chills down her spine. Disturbed by her discovery, she shared the footage online, hoping to find out what this eerie figure could be. The video started quite an uproar among viewers. Some suggested it could be a shadow person, a type of paranormal entity often reported in haunted locations. Others speculated it might be a cryptid, a creature whose existence is suggested but not scientifically confirmed, like Bigfoot or the Jersey Devil. A few skeptics proposed that the figure could be a trick of the light or a result of pareidolia, where the human mind sees familiar patterns like faces and random objects. Some even thought it might be a person living in the shack, possibly a hermit or someone hiding from society. What do you think it is? The nighttime is when a lot of sinister and unexplainable things happen. Take a look at this surveillance footage. The camera was set outside a house, looking out at the woods nearby in the dead of night. Then, out of nowhere, this happen? A strange entity just dropped out of the sky and jumped off. It looks like it's humanoid, but because of how fast it moved, there isn't much we can say about it. It also has this white glow to it, but since this footage is in black and white, we can't tell if it's wearing a white dress or if the creature itself is glowing. Adding to the mystery was the fact that there were no reports of any disturbances or noises in the area that night. The homeowners checked the footage the next morning after noticing some strange marks on the ground where the entity landed. Could this be an extraterrestrial visitor or perhaps a spectral entity? Let us know what you think in the comments section. This was sent in by a subscriber who had just set up his trail camera deep in the woods. He was hoping to spot some prey as he prepared for hunting season. But when he came back the next day to check the images, what he found was beyond anything he could have expected. The camera captured something truly unsettling, a creature that looked almost human, but with features that were anything but. It was completely bald, with hollow, empty eyes that seemed to stare right into your soul. Its mouth was wide open, revealing no teeth, just darkness, and where its nose should have been, there was only a gaping hole, giving it an even more skeletal appearance. The creature was crouched down, so the lower part of its body was hidden in the shadows, but what you could have seen was extremely emaciated, as if it had been starving for ages. What could this be? These days, there are a lot of sights in the sky which more often than not don't add up. From orbs to light formations that resemble saucers to shape-shifting objects, the skies seem to be filled with mysteries. Someone recently shared this intriguing footage of a strange light up in the sky moving at a questionable speed. The footage shows a bright, distinct light moving across the sky in a manner that defies the usual patterns of conventional aircraft. Its speed and the way it maneuvers suggest it could be something extraordinary. This object is obviously not the everyday plane you and I use. It looks more like a spacecraft of some sort. Having seen it, what do you think? Could this be advanced human tech that's being kept from the public eye, or are we witnessing something from another world? Share your thoughts in the comments section. This definitely doesn't look like anything you and I have encountered in our lives, does it? Well, I shouldn't speak for you because I've no idea what you've experienced, but this certainly is not normal. It looks like a humanoid creature with a mechanical makeup and wings attached. I know that's a mouthful, but it describes the exact thing we're dealing with right now. Once more, it appears to be moving its legs. The face shows no signs of life because, well, it doesn't look like skin or flesh. Naturally, I showed this to my team, and a number of them thought it might be a toy. Aaron, on the other hand, thought it might be a living creature from a plane that's not ours. For those who don't know Aaron, he's our conspiracy theorist, and he sees some conspiracy here. Our science whiz Julius, however, thinks this was put out there by someone to mislead the paranormal community. What do you think, though? Could this thing be alive, or are we simply trying to find a story where there isn't one? Share your thoughts. Technology is definitely pushing boundaries once again.
Folks, have your passports out this time. Passports out, please.
Thank you, Nicholas. You're all set.
This footage shows a man at Houston Airport where facial recognition technology has replaced the need for traditional passports. All he had to do was stand in place, look at the machine, and just like that, his face was scanned and his identity confirmed. There's no denying the convenience and speed this brings. Imagine traveling without the hassle of digging through your bag for a passport or ID. But as AI and tech grow stronger, there's this lingering question. Should we be excited or concerned? On one hand, it's incredible to see how far technology has come, making processes smoother and more efficient. But on the other hand, there's that unsettling feeling about how much control and data we're giving over to machines. Is this the future we're stepping into, where our identities are constantly monitored and logged by AI? It's hard to say if we should embrace this or be wary of what it could mean for our privacy. What do you think? Convenient innovation or cause for concern?
Folks, have your passports out this time. Passports out, please.
Thank you, Nicholas. You're all set.
And with that, we end today's episode. Thanks for staying with us. Before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we will post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. Share this video with someone you love, and I will see you in the next one.